Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय 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 यशोदानंदन कृष्ण गोपाल गोविंद श्रवण जय यशोदानंदन कृष्ण गोपाल गोविंद जय मदन मोहन हरे अनंत मुकुंद जय मदन मोहन हरे अनंत मुकुंद जय यशोदानंदन कृष्ण गोपाल गोविंद जय मदन मोहन हरे जय मदन मोहन हरे अनंत मुकुंद अनंत जय यशोदानंदन कृष्ण गोपाल गोविंद जय अच्युत माधव राम वृंदावन चंद्र जय अच्युत माधव राम वृंदावन चंद्र जय मुरली वदन श्याम जय मुरली वदन श्याम गोपी जनयानंद जय यशोदानंदन कृष्ण गोपाल जय यशोदानंदन कृष्ण Govinda. Jayo Radha Vrindavan Bihari, Jayo Radha Vrindavan Bihari, Shri Radhe. Jayo Radha Vrindavan Bihari, Radha Vrindavan Bihari, Shri Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan. Shri Govinda Gopinath, Madana Mohan. Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan. Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahavan. Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan. Jaya Jaya Jvala Rasa Sarva Rasa Sar. Parakiya Bhavika Vrajita Prachar. Shri Janava Padma Padma Kori Asmara. Bina Krishna Dase Koe Nama Sankirtan. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Shri Radhe. Shri Radhika Madhayorapara Madhurya Leela Gunarupa Namna. Pratishana Swadanalopasya Vande Guru Shri Charanavinda. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado Yasya aprasadat nagati kutopi. Ayam stuvam stasya yashastri sandhyam Vande Guru Shri Charanavinda. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jayom Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivajaka Acharya Ashtotara Shata Sri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada की ब्रह्म मध्व गौड़ीय संप्रदाय आचार्य गुरुवर की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की श्रीपाद विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर पाद की गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guruho and Gauranga. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagada Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Aradhya Bhagwan Vrajesh Tanayas Taddham Vrindavana Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadu Vargena Taya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavata Purane Amalam Prema Pumartho Maha Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Mitmataidam Nayatraya Graha Paraham Navaniradhanindita Kantidharam Rasasagar Nagar Bhupavaram Shubhavankimacharu Shikhanda Shikhim Bhaja Krishna Nidhim Vrajaraja Bhaja Krishna Nidhim Vrajaraja Radhika Sarodindu Nindimukha Mandali Vandiye Shripad Padma Vrishabhanu Nandini Vandiye Shripad Padma Vrishabhanu Nandini Vandiye Shripad Padma Vrishabhanu Nandini Ajanulambito Bhujo Kanakaya Vidhato Sankirtane Pitaro Kamalayataksho Vishwambaro Dvijavaro Yugadharma Palo Vande Jagata Priyakaro Karuna Avataro Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. So welcome to the seventh part of the seventh session of the Guruvashtakam, or most commonly known as the Mangalarti. We sing that every day in all ISKCON centers and even in the Gaudiya Math. All the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after Srila Vishwanath Thakur, has sung this wonderful prayer in glorification of our Acharyas. And the whole purpose of this series is to try to get a little glimpse of who our divine Acharyas are. They are not ordinary personalities. Are they the ones who will give us the attraction or love for Vaikuntha? No. Are they the ones who are giving attraction to Ayodhya? No. To all the Narayan Lokas? No. To all the different personalities of Godhead in Vaikuntha? No. Are they giving us attraction for Dwarka? No. Are they giving attraction for Mathura? No. Some attraction, but not the samam bonum of Gaudiya Vaishnavism is found in these wonderful samsara davanal prayers. And due to the time constraint, I will not be recapping from these sessions onwards because I have to cover a lot of ground. And those who have just joined either in person or online, I would humbly request them to visit the GEV Live YouTube website, and you will find all the the seminar series from number 1 to 6, and today is number 7. And today's verse, we will continue. We just started that verse yesterday, which is Shri Radhika Madhavya Rapara Madhurya Leela Guna Rupa Namna Prati Shana Swa Dhanalolupasya Vande Guruho Shri Charana. So I seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas, my obeisances to all listeners, my hundreds and thousands of obeisances to the sincere disciples of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, to Srila Prabhupada, all the Prabhupadas, and our Gaudiya Guru Varga. So I beg all of you to give me that blessings, that whatever emanates from my mouth is yatharup as it is, for the pleasure of our Gaudiya Acharyas, for the pleasure of Sri Gauranga, Sri Sri Radha Vrindavan Bihari. Hare Krishna. So yesterday we covered the very first three words, rather Radhika Madhavya. So different meanings are there. Radhika means Aradhyate iti is Radhe, and Radhika is Raga Adhika iti Radhika. One who has a lot of rag or deep attachment for Krishna is known as Radhika. There are many, many meanings, but from our Gaudiya perspective, just to name a couple. Another meaning of the word Radhe is Rag Dhavyati iti Radhe. Once she is always running towards Krishna with a lot of excitement, with a lot of enthusiasm, with a lot of love. So I mentioned that yesterday, that in the beginning of creation, when Shyam Sundar Krishna, the Govinda Madi Purusham, when he expanded simultaneously on the right, he expanded as a Sandhini Shakti, Lord Balram, who is responsible for the entire creation, including spiritual worlds and the material worlds. And Krishna himself is the Samvit Shakti, and Srimati Radharani on his left is Aladini Shakti, one who gives him extreme joy, Ahlad. Ahlad means joy. And the other day we mentioned, we did a very, some couple good prayers of Prahlad in our sessions, remembering. So what does Prahlad mean? Anybody remembers? Prakrishna Rupena Ahlad iti Prahlad. A devotee is always, Prakrishna means extremely, and Ahlad means joyful. So word Ahlad in Sanskrit means joy. So Srimati Radharani is Ahladini Shakti. And when she appeared from Krishna's left side, she immediately ran towards Krishna with a lot of raga, anuraga, bhava, mahabhava. She ran towards Krishna. Therefore, raga dhavyati iti radhe. And then we mentioned the different stages of prema. In ISKCON, when we ask devotees, what is your ultimate goal? And almost certainly we get that answer, Krishna Prem. But what kind of Krishna Prem? Krishna Prem has many, many stages or many, many different delineations. So there is Sneha, Mana, Pranaya, Raga, Anuraga, Bhava, Mahabhava, Rudha, Adhirudha. And then exclusively these two particular sentiments are only the rights of Srimati Radharani, Modanakhya and Madanakhya Bhav. So the different love or prema, even the sakhas of Krishna or his friends, they love him. That is called sneha. Even Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj and the elder gopis and gopas, they love him. So that is snigdha sneha. Also there is, I forgot one more, there is gritta sneha. Gritta means like ghee. The hearts of the Vrajvasis melt with prema when they see Krishna or when they think of Krishna. Man, when Srimati Radharani is so much in extreme possession or in the Bhamya Bhav, the leftist mood, she cannot take Krishna going anywhere else except her. She seeks all attention and she fully controls Krishna. And when she thinks that she is not able to control Krishna or Krishna is not controlled by her, her mood gets extremely upset or she becomes angry. And that is called Man. Man, we have in Barsana a very special place known as Mangad when we are doing parikrama. So, how did Mangad happen? Very briefly, when Radharani was sitting there and Krishna came a little bit late and he said the word Chandravali. And the moment he uttered that, meaning he was saying that, I'm so sorry, I was kept by Chandravali, uh, the other gopi. So the moment she heard the word Chandravali, Srimati Radharani went into Man. Because our Acharyas explained that Krishna is very naughty, extremely, and he chooses those words that will increase her anger, transcendental anger, or which is known as Man. So the word Chandravali means Chandra, means the moon, and Avali means many, many thousands of moons. So Chandravali means her beauty is equivalent. She's so beautiful. Oh Radhe, she was keeping me away. So Radharani took that meaning of Chandravali as that her beauty is thousands of times more. And yesterday we took one very wonderful four-line bhajan from the Vrajvasi disciple of Srila Vallabhacharya, Paramanandas, who is also a Sakha and also a Sakhi. I had mentioned that there is some certain very, very dear devotees of Krishna or parshads, associates. Krishna cannot live without them. They are present in more than one ras. Like Lord Balaram is present in all five rasas. Uh, Rai Ramanan, who is also Vishaka Sakhi, is also Arjun Sakha. So we also mentioned that some who claim that only you have to come to us to hear Rasik Katha and all those wonderful Madhurira subjects, your Swami Maharaj, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami cannot give you that. He can only give you the ABCs. And he has established Krishna Balram Mandir. But to them, we humbly request to understand and contemplate that he did not establish Krishna Balram Mandir in Vrindavan. He also established Shri Lalita Vishaka and Radha Shyam Sundar. So are they in Sakhya Ras? Are they in Vatsalya Ras? No. They are in Madhuri Ras. Right? I keep repeating this again and again because some listeners have already heard this, but this is a very important point, especially for those preachers when they are approached. When somebody minimizes our Srila Prabhupada's position, then with humble mood, we should give them the proper answer. It's very important. Otherwise, if we cannot defend our own A.C. Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada, then shame on us. Lots of shame, just not shame. So that's why I keep repeating some very, very key and important points. Is he not given ras in his Bhaktivedanta purports? Even in his Bhagavad Gita purports, he has quoted Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Is he not a Rasik Acharya? Is he not quoted Sridhar Swami in the Srimad Bhagavatam and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur? Has he not, His Divine Minister Prabhupada, A.C. Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada? Has not Srila Prabhupada compiled and translated Srila Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami's Chaitanya Charitamrita? Is that not full of rasa? That is all full of rasa that concludes to Radha Dasyam. That is the reason why Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami saved the best for last. Antilila, last chapter, 20th chapter, which is the entire description in detail of Chetodarpana Marjanam, Chaitanya Sishtastakam. And His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, has written a wonderful book known as The Golden Volcano of Divine Love. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like a golden volcano. And in his most ecstatic moment when he achieves Radha Bhav, uh, the golden volcano bursts and golden lava comes out from his mouth in the form of Chaitanya Sistashtaka. So that is the highest ecstasy when he receives Radha Bhav. Radha Bhav. So, and the whole purpose of these series of the seminar is to get a glimpse. Not that after hearing this, I will get Raganuga Bhakti or the listeners will get Raganuga Bhakti. No, that doesn't happen like that. And somebody said very nicely that Raganuga Bhakti is like a man and a woman falling in love. When they fall in love, they just know that they're fallen in love. They don't go to the school of how to make love or how to fall in love. It just happens. So Raganuga Bhakti is like this. We can have Bhakti Shastri classes, we can have Bhakti Vaibhav classes, we can have Bhakti Vedant classes, but we cannot have a Raganuga Bhakti class. Not possible. Yeah. It's a transcendental mood that is gifted to us by our acharyas if and only if we have perfectly followed the Vaidhi Bhakti uh, and Vaidhi Bhakti sadhana, then the doors of Raganuga Bhakti will open. And then we will understand that not only our acharyas, they are just, you know, the acharyas who are practicing devotees, they are also, in order to set the example, they perform Vaidhi Bhakti uh, and sadhana. But also in the internal mood, they are performing their Nitya Seva in their bhajan. While sitting, even in their body, before going back to Golok or other quarter, in their original forms as manjaris, then we find that even in the present bodies, they are simply thinking in their internal mood uh, what their service is. And we had explained that in the stages of after Shraddha, Sadhusang, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, then Ruchi and Asakti stage, we get those sentiments, we get that greed to understand Raganuga Bhakti. And at that time, we try to get that more and more Shravan Dasa. We come into that kind of stage, and then our desire to stay in Vrindavan, that deep desire increases, and hearing those higher topics from such Vaishnavas who are Raganuga Bhaktas. That's how we develop that greed. And then later on, in the stage of Asakti, we get to get our 11 symptoms. We are given Chakshudana Lilojai Janme Janme Prabhu say Divya Gyan. What is that Divya Gyan? Hriday Prakashito. So that our Srila Prabhupada or our Acharyas in the Parampara will reveal the Raganuga Bhakti, who we are in Radharani's Seva. If we cross that barrier, otherwise we will remain Vaidhi Bhaktas and we will end up, like Prabhupada said, if you chant minimum 16 good rounds, follow the four regulative principles, you will go home back to Godhead. But back to Godhead is a very big area. Vaikuntha, parts of Vaikuntha is also back to Godhead. Dwarka and Mathura is also back to Godhead. But he did not specify because Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, whatever a pure devotee speaks, he is very, very careful about his words, and whatever he speaks is Shastra. So he did not specify that we will go back to Golok unless and until we have developed that lobha or that greed of Raganuga Bhakti. Very important. We must do that. Even Krishna, there are two rasic meanings of basic so-called Bhagavad Gita verses in the Bhagavad Gita, where Vasudeva Krishna, he is mentioning to Arjun that Bahunam Janmanam Ante Gyanvan Prapadyate Vasudev Sarvamiti Samatma Sudirlabh. So here we find that Vasudeva Krishna is declaring or certifying those persons as Mahatmas, those who have that knowledge that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because in this creation, material world especially, a lot of them are atheists, a lot of them are following some superior power according to their whimsical knowledge and guidance. Either they are thinking that the different Devi Devtas or the demigods are Bhagwan. They are all the same. So, Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Ekala Ishvara Krishna or Shabhrita. The only Supreme Lord is Krishna, and the rest of them are Britta, means servants, sevaks. Like this, we find that once we are established on that platform that yes, here is Krishna, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Purna Purushottam Bhagavan. When we accept that from day one, when somebody comes with some Shraddha, Adi Shraddha, and meets some sadhus in ISKCON, Vaishnavas, so they say, they ask, this is Radha Krishna, and they, yes, this is Radha Krishna, but Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. On day one, he is introduced like that, right? And if that's the same introduction that we have in our hearts after 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, then I think we have missed something. Because once we enter Raganuga Bhakti, then we forget that he is also the Supreme Personality of God, as mentioned. Because both the Mayas do the same job of, they create forgetfulness. For the Vaidhi Bhakti, we forget that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, for Vaidhi Bhakta sadhaks, Vasudeva Krishna is certifying that indeed such Mahatmas are durlabh. They are very rare. And as Kali progresses, everything will dwindle. Prayana alpa aisha manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hi upadrita. People are misguided. Manda, lazy. Sumanda matayo, misguided. And they are completely, they have no idea what is going. Alpa aisha, the lifespan is reduced. So these are the symptoms of Kali Yuga. But if one even accepts that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, Vasudeva, is saying that yes, I accept them as Mahatma. But he has a wonderful another verse. And pertaining to the verse, ISKCON, our great movement, is making so many Mahatmas. Because most of us, we are in Vaidhi Bhakta and we are sharing this Krishna consciousness on a Vaidhi Bhakti level, which is great and it is most necessary before we enter Raganuga Bhakti. And we tell everyone Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Gauranga Mahaprabhu, the Vaidhi Bhakti introduction is that Krishna came as his own devotee to preach Bhakti. That's what we normally tell everyone. So that is, ISKCON is the most perfect institution among so many different institutions that establish that fact, what Vasudeva Krishna is saying. And that's why ISKCON is in mass making Mahatmas. Yeah. But there is one more beautiful sloka that has the rasic meaning. Krishna also says, Vasudeva Krishna says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhe. So amongst all those human beings and all those sadhus, maybe one will attain that siddhi. What is that siddhi? Because Vasudeva Krishna was in Vraj prior to him separating at the time when Akrur came. As you all may know, that there are many types of Krishna. But Srila Prabhupada said in his purport of Bhajahu Re Mana Sri Nanda Nandana Abhay Charanaravindare, we have heard about 25, 27 years ago when we were listening to him singing it very nicely with so much transcendental bhav. And later on, he explains the meaning. So the first thing he says is, Bhajahu Re Mana. He is pleading to his mind. Oh, my dear mind. He is giving instruction to his mind. Please worship Sri Nanda Nandan. Then immediately Prabhupada said that we are worshippers of the son of Nanda Maharaj in Vraj. There are many types of Krishna, but we are only concerned with the son of Nanda Maharaj. So that shows there, right there and there, that who we are. What is our Aradhya? Bhagavana Vrajesha Tanayas. This is in Chaitanya Manjusha. This shloka, which Srila Prabhupada also, he was very fond of speaking this shloka. So Aradhya, if you have to worship, then please worship. There are so many different Satchitananda Rupas, like Satyavrat Muni, we had mentioned that. But where is Satchitananda Rup? We worship Aradhya for us, Gaudiya Vaishnavas is Vrajendra, Aradhya Bhagwan. Which Bhagwan? Vrajendra Tanayas, the son of Nanda Maharaj. So, like this, we find that the Gaudiya mood is very distinctly separate. So when Vasudeva Krishna, who was at the time Vasudeva came to Gokul, our Acharyas have wonderfully explained this secret. He brought Vasudeva Krishna in a little basket, and under the spell of Yogmaya, everybody fell asleep. And when he reached Nanda Bhavan, there was a wonderful urja, an amazing, dazzling light coming out of Mother Yashoda's room. And everybody was sleeping, including Mother Yashoda was in a deep sleep. Prabhupada has also mentioned in the Krishna book. And at that time, Vasudeva Krishna could own, Mother Yashoda had given birth to two twins, Nandanandan Krishna, Yashodanandan, and Yogmaya, both simultaneously. On one side, the Kanya, the baby girl was sleeping, and on one side, there was Krishna born from Yashoda Mai. So, but due to Yogmaya's influence, Vasudevji did not get darshan of Nandanandan because he's from Mathura. Mathura Vasis don't get that glimpse. So Yogmaya very cleverly covered. So only those who have that extreme loving sentiments for the highest nature, only they are revealed Rajbha. And we are so fortunate that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given, he came to give us this. Is it not true? Did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come to give us Dasya Ras, as in Dasya Dasya or Vaikuntha mood? No. Did he come to give us Sakhya Ras? No. Did he come to give us Vatsalya Ras? No. And we find that indication in the conversation in Madhya Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita 8th chapter, when the conversation between Rai Ramananda and Mahaprabhu. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked that question, what is the highest goal of life? Supported with the different scriptural evidence. So he speaks the wonderful verses from Bhagavad Gita. He talks about Yat Karosi, Yad Asnasi, Karma Yoga, whatever you do, you offer to Krishna. That is the perfection of life. And immediately Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Iha Bahya Age Kaho. Then he goes to the verses like Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atmana Sochati Na Kamshati Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktir Labhyate Para. There also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very mildly and gently rejects it by saying, Iha Bahya. This is external. Age Kaho. Anybody remembers? I had mentioned this. Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejects Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atma? Any of my scholarly personalities here who are sitting there, erudite? Yes, Prabhuji. Very nice. He is a very good listener. Our Prabhu from France. I forget your name. Gauranaraj. Very nice. So because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although what Rai Ramanand meant, because he is Vishaka Saki, how can he go wrong when he is speaking Brahma, but at the same time, when he is speaking those verses, and he knew that at some point his biography would come into existence. And then there are so many unqualified people who would read that word and this conversation, the word Brahma. So that would get the connotation of a Mayavadi explaining that ultimately Brahma, one who has obtained Brahma Jyoti or that Mayavad or Brahmavad mood, then they are Prasannatma. So they are indeed, so Brahma or Brahma Jyoti is the highest. And in that highest state of Mayavads or Brahmavadis, then we will get the highest bliss. But that is not true. And that is the reason Mahaprabhu rejected that. Then again, I'm repeating some key points so that we can understand the Gaudiya mood. That's the whole idea of these sessions. Then when he mentioned, he threw that big bombshell. He said, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tam sarva papibhyo mokshashyami ma socha. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, Iho Bhaiya, this is external. Now this comes as a shock to most of us Vaidhi Bhaktas. What? What are we hearing? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has even rejected that verse of the Bhagavad Gita by calling it external. Iho Bhaiya, aage kaho, tell me more. So here, Mahaprabhu Prabhu rejected that verse because of the last two words, Ma Sucha. Although the entire Bhagavad Gita was spoken to Arjun, and Arjun has already accepted Nashtamo Smriti Labdat Vat Prasadat Maya Achyuta Gata Sandeha Stito Asmi Karishye Vachanam Tava. I will do exactly as you say. But Krishna knows he is the Paramatma within everybody's heart. Still, Arjun had slight reservation, maybe in the form of a rai, that I'm ready to, all my illusion is gone, Nastamo Smriti Labda, I'm established in my true intelligence. By your Krishna, O Achyut, Tat Prasadat Maya Achyuta, Gata Sandeha, all my doubts have been finished. So now I'm ready to pick up the bow and arrow and fight against my grandsire Bhishmadev, fight against my Gurudev, Dronacharya, to fight against all my kinsmen. I'm ready to do that. But still, as Paramatma, Vasudeva Krishna feels that he has slight reservation. He still has a little doubt, although he has said it, that by your mercy I'm established properly. Karishya Vachanam Tava. I'm doing exactly as you say. I'm going to fight. So therefore, Krishna, again, by using the word Ma Sucha, do not fear. But to the gopis of Vrindavan and the Vrajvasis, when they surrender, the gopis, they leave everything in the middle of the Pati Sutan Vaya Bhrata Bandhava in Gopi Geet, that was 16th verse. They leave everything, but they do not have to be assured by Krishna that Ma Sucha. So that is the difference between Raj Bhakti and the Bhakti of Dvadashi Paran time is 9:11 onwards. It is only for I think 40 or 50 minutes. So Jagannath Prasad grains will be distributed to each one of you at 9:12. So please, that way you can do your Dvadashi Paran and one will get the benefit of the Ekadashi. So anyways, that is our Gaudiya mood. Many types of Krishna, but we are only concerned with the son of Nandaman. And ultimately, we have to cross over the barrier of Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, we will end up, even we will have that purity. We will think of Krishna, we are thinking of Bhagavad Gita, we are chanting nicely. But, and when the end comes, we will end up some quarter of Vaikuntha, not in Golok Vrindavan. That's a myth, misconception. Because Raghunath Das Goswami has also said that in Manasiksha, unless and until we take education and follow in the footsteps of the Vrajvasi, in the Vraj mood, we will not attain Vraj. Manasiksha, Raghunath Das Goswami. And Prabhupada is that Vrajvasi. So ultimately, Prabhupada wants all of us to go beyond Bhagavad Gita with respecting it fully. And there are so many verses in the Bhagavad Gita that Siddhi, Manushanam Sarasu Kasti Jati Siddhi means that Siddhi of Raj, the Siddhi of Manjari Bhav. That is what, because Vasudeva Krishna has seen that. While he was merged, when Vasudeva brought and put Vasudeva Krishna, and when he left with the baby girl, Kanya, as soon as he left, Vasudeva Krishna merged into Nandanandan Krishna. And Nandanandan Krishna, as a spectator, he saw the sweetness of Vraj. Please try to also, I humbly request, understand this tattva. If we understand it, then our aspirations will go higher and higher to reach that Raganuga Bhakti. Just like a child, from childhood says, I want to be a doctor, doctor, doctor. Eventually, so much it is ingrained in the consciousness of a child that eventually he becomes a doctor. But at least here, that child knows that there is a doctor in existence in order to think about doctor and to become a doctor. So similarly, we have to graduate, postgraduate, become doctorate in our Gaudiya Vaishnavism. And that way. So when Akrurji came at that time, when 11 and a half, 12 years, whatever that age span was, Krishna Balram were taken to Mathura on the order of Kamsa. When he stopped at the border of Mathura and Vrindavan, even today when Parikrama Marg, I don't know if you all have noticed, after our Jagannath temple of Murari Gupta, where Lord Jagannath is, and Mahaprabhu's Siddha tree. If we go a little further, maybe 200 meters, there is one gate. As we continue on the right side towards the parikrama, before reaching Atala Chungi, that cross section, that gate is the old road to Mathura. That's where Akrur took Krishna Balram. And at that border, he stopped and he offered obeisances to Vrindavan. Akrur was a devotee, but he was following the order of Kansa to bring them with the idea of killing them. So at that time, when he was bowing down, Nandanandan Krishna and Vasudev Krishna separated. Nandanandan Krishna stayed in Raj, Ekam Padam Na Gacchati, in the form of Bhav. In every karn, in every atom of Vrindavan, in every tree, in every leaf, in every flower, in every cow, in every calf, in every Vrajvasi, he stayed in the form of Bhav, in the Bhav of separation. Separation brings about a tremendous love that is unknown to other quarters and other regions. Mathura, Dwarka, they cannot experience that. Vaikuntha cannot experience that. So that Bhav state, Krishna ekam padam nagacchati, outside Vrindavan, he stayed there in Bhav state. But it is Vasudeva Krishna who went to Mathura, killed Kams, and then later on freed his parents, his grandfather, and his grandfather was established the ruler. And then these both princes went forward to take education in Gurukul with Sandipani Muni. And then later on, when they came back, Jarasandha attacked Mathura 18 times. He was defeated. But due to the attacks, the Mathura Vasis were always in fear. So then they decided, why don't we create something in the water, in the ocean, a great city? And Vishwakarma was asked to create. Then overnight, they were all shifted and they all became Dwarkavasis, and Mathuresh Krishna became Dwarkadish Krishna. And it is this Dwarkadish Krishna or Vasudeva Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, who spoke Bhagavad Gita. Right? So he himself is saying that Manusha Nam Sarasatu Kaschit Yatati Siddhaye. That Siddhi is following in the footsteps of the Manjaris in Radha Dasyam. Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Sei Mora Sampada Sei Mora Bhajana Puja Sei Mora Vancha Siddhi. So becoming a Kinkari, becoming a maid servant of Rupa Manjari is the highest siddhi for all our acharyas. That is the goal. Radha Dasyam will automatically follow because Rupa Manjari will engage those Manjaris in the service of Srimati Radharani. But she is the chief, Rupa Goswami. That is Shei Mora Vancha Siddhi, Narottam Das Thakur says. That is the perfection of us. So when we hear these things, slowly and surely it will stay in our hearts. It will create an imprint and we can work towards our goal. So we described yesterday Radhika and meaning of Madhav. What does Madhav mean? So Adi Shankaracharya says, Dhava means basically husband and Ma means Ma Lakshmi. So Shankaracharya is Lord Shiva and he is in the Vaikuntha mood in one sense, right? Not in the Vrajbhav. So that is the meaning of Madhav, which is correct. And I remember we mentioned many a time that more than one word has more than one meaning and they're all correct. They're all correct based on one's consciousness. I think there was one Acharya by the name of Yadvacharya. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me. Even my memory sometimes fails me. He was a young boy and he was in the Gurukul. And every day in the path, when the Guru was speaking, all the disciples, the Chhatras were sitting and they were hearing different shlokas and the meanings. And Yadvacharya had to massage while Guru was speaking on Shastra and giving the meanings. So while he was massaging his back, his shoulders, the Guru, that word came across, Sanskrit word in the Shastra, Kapyasan. So, and then he started giving the meaning. He started explaining the meaning of the word Kapyasan. The sentence was something like this, that the Lord's eyes are described as kapyasan. So then he explained kapi means monkey and asan means the pichwada or the behind of the monkey, which is reddish. So the Lord's eyes are reddish like the behind of the monkey. Now when he heard that, uh, he became very upset and he started crying and tears started flowing, and it fell on the Guru's shoulder, and he looked up and said, "Yes, why are you crying?" There's nothing, Gurudev, nothing. No, no, no. You have to tell me why you're crying. So when Gurudev insisted, he said, just hearing the explanation of the word kapyasan, I'm very sad to hear that. So he said, Guru said, "Oh, so you know better than me. Then you explain what is the meaning of the word kapyasan." Huh? So at that time, he immediately said, kapya, kamam pibati asana miti kapyasam. So that means lotus. Kamam means the water, we extracted, and asanam, Lord Brahma's asana. So the Lord's eyes are like a lotus. Huh? That is why our Vaishnavas have this unique capability. Especially Gaudiya Vaishnavas are the most capable of churning and taking out the proper meanings. Huh? A simple other word in Sanskrit, Rameshwaram. It's a Sanskrit word. So the devotees of Lord Shiva, because Lord Rama worshipped the Shivling in that area now known as Rameshwaram after that pastime. So those who are ardent devotees of Lord Shiva, they said even Lord Ramachandra is worshipping our master, Lord Shiva. Therefore, Lord Shiva is the Ishwar of Rama, Rameshwara. Correct meaning grammatically. But those who are Vaishnavas, they very simple. Ram is Ishwar. Ram is the Supreme Lord. So word is the same, but the consciousness is different. So like that, there are so many different words. So Madhav means, Ma means don't, and Dhava means don't run away from me. Radharani tells Krishna. Madhava. Jaydev Goswami has written a very nice pad. Madhava बहुत विनंती करू तो है माधव बहुत विनंती करू तो है. So here also it means that as a Manjari is requesting, I request you, Madhav, don't run away from Radharani. Deep meaning. बहुत विनंती करू तो है. I am constantly praying, please stay with our Radha, make her happy. So, like this, we find that in Sri Radhika Madhavya Madhurya Leela, Guna Rupa Nam Nam Prati Shana Swadhana Lolupasya Vande Guru Sri Charnam. Such great is the position of Srimati Radharani. And what is it that our Acharya does? Teaching his disciples or teaching other Vaishnavas? Constantly, his job is to describe the unlimited pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Apar means unlimited. Sri Madhavya, Sri Radhika Madhavya, Apar, Madhurya Leela Guna Rupanam. So here we should immediately think, not Aishwarya Leela in Vaikuntha, not Aishwarya Leela in Dwarka and Mathura, but Madhurya Leela, the sweet pastimes, Guna, their qualities, transcendental qualities, and their names, Guna Rupa, their form. So that is what Gurudev does. Those who have entered Raganuga Bhakti especially, then that is what they preach. That is what they share. But also the internal meaning, the Rasik meaning of Sri Radhika Madhavya Apara Madhurya Leela. So what are the sweet pastimes in Raj? There are so many, unlimited, apar. Satyavrat Muni also mentions that Idrik Salila Vir Ananda Kunde Swagosha Nimanjantam Akhyapayantam. He drowns the residents of Gokul, of Raj, into an ocean of ecstasy. So like this, because we are singing the song of Srila Vishwanath Chaudhary Thakur, there is a wonderful book actually more than one book that tells us some very sweet pastimes of Radha and Krishna. There is one book known as um, Chamatkar Chandrika. And in that, there are 4 different, very, very sweet pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And just very briefly to mention at least a couple to see what those Madhurya pastimes are. So one time, Mother Yashoda was packing a lot of stuff in a big trunk, perhaps as big as this Vyasasana, what we call in Hindi Sanduk, not Peti. Or Peti is also small, but Sanduk is big, like a trunk. In English, we call it trunk. And she was putting all different kinds of aromatic uh, perfumes, uh, pollen from lotus flower, all that, beautiful clothing, jewelry. And Krishna came and innocently asked, Maya, uh, this box that you are filling, is it for me? So Maya said, no, it's not for you. Is it for Balram? No, it's not for Balram. Then who is it for? So Mother Yashoda is saying, this is for Vrishabhanu Nandini Radha. This is for her. And her husband Abhimanyu has come to see your father, uh, uh, Vrajesh, Nandrai. He has come to see Nandrai in order to get some advice about some family affairs and about so much other, because they are all Krishis and Gorakshaks. Nanda Baba is the most perfect person. So many Vrajavasis used to come and take advice. So he has come. And because he has come, Abhimanyu has come from Yavat all the way. I want to send some gifts with him. I want to send some gifts for Radha, who is very dear to me. So that's why I am packing all these things for her. So in the meantime, one Dasi comes and calls Nandarani, Yashodama. So Yashodama goes out and she tells Dhanishta, who is a very, very intimate gopi or a manjari who serves in Nanda Bhavan. But she has got all those moods of the manjaris and the bhav of how to, under Yogmaya or under the Vrinda Devi, she actually acts secretly for the different pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So you watch this trunk, and I will be right back. So at that time, Krishna indicates to Dhanishta, Dhanishta, now it's time to enact some Madhurya Leela. Very, very wonderful. So Sri Radhika Madhurya Rapar, right? So one of these Leelas is this sweet Leela he wants to perform. So Dhanishta, she actually knows what Krishna is going to do. So Krishna tells Dhanishta, take all these silken clothes, the jewelry, and all these aromatic stuffs that my Maya has kept, and you keep them safely. And then what he does is, before Maya comes back, and before Abhimanyu comes back, he jumps in that box. And some of his Priya Narma Sakhas who are present, they close it. And then Mother Yashoda brings Abhimanyu inside and says, look, Abhimanyu, I have this for my dear darling Radharani. Please take it for her. So Abhimanyu, and Mother Yashoda instructs him that make sure you don't leave it anywhere. You directly take it and put it in a room. Now Mother Yashoda doesn't know that there is Krishna inside, and Abhimanyu doesn't know that Krishna is inside. So Abhimanyu lifts up this heavy box and he feels, wow, Mother Yashoda is so kind. She must have sent the biggest treasure for my wife. She has sent the best, and it was heavy, but at the same time, he was so ecstatic. And he was thinking, with this treasure, I can do so many things. I will sell some of it and buy more cows, and I will become richer than Govardhan Malla. Govardhan Malla is the husband of Chandravali Sakhi. So he is richer than Abhimanyu. So I will, from this, it's good. A lot of heaviness is there. That's better. And like that, when we have a heavy burden or when we are very so tired, but if there is some impetus, we are enthusiastic about something in our own benefit, then that pain goes away. We don't feel that much pain. So he reaches all the way to Yavat from Gokul and or from Nandgram. From Nandgram he reaches and he goes straight as per the instructions of Yashoda Mai. Uh, Jatila and Kutila see that. Are, Abhimanyu, what have you brought? Oh, this is specially for your daughter-in-law and your sister-in-law. He was addressing his sister and mother, Kutila and Jatila respectively. So this is lot of jewelry and so man is so heavy. Mother Yashoda is so magnanimous. So yes, so Jatila is saying, very true, very true. You must have left this our home this morning in a very auspicious moment to bring so much treasure uh, in our home. So then he goes, yeah, go take it and put it in the inner quarters. Make sure that it is from away from the sight of others because it's so expensive. All this stuff that Mother Yashoda has sent. So he walks straight into the bedroom and he sets down that trunk and he tells Radharani, Yashoda Ma has sent very special treasure for you. Now there's a double meaning. Here the Rasik Acharyas, they know, they are laughing. And also the Sakhis are present, Lalita is present, Vishaka is present, some Manjaris are present, Vinod Manjari is present, who is none other than Sripad Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So he's present, he's witnessing. And Dhanishta had earlier already, through the duty, through the messengers, yes, time for distributing the Mahaprasad of Lord Jagannath for Dwadashi Param. So, the Jai. Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra Devi ki Jai. Dwadashi Param ki Jai. So, the Sakhis, somehow through some beauty, they had got the message from Nand Bhavan, from the secret messenger or the secret person Dhanishta. And they knew that who. So when Abhimanyu said that Mata Yashoda has sent a special treasure, they all started giggling and laughing because they knew it was Krishna inside. Then, when Abhimanyu left, Radharani opened the box and out jumped Krishna. So we are talking about Sri Radhika Madhurya Leela, the wonderful sweet pastime. And Radharani, at that time, immediately she shocked, but in great pleasant surprise. But because in Madhurya Leela there is one very special component, which is sarcasm, or what we call in Hindi kataksh. So what is an example of kataksh? Like you say something but you mean something opposite. You say something but you mean very opposite. Yeah, Krishna. Surely you are a brahmachari. That is why you have all the brahmachari qualifications. They sometimes tease Krishna like that. But they know that Krishna, although he is brahmachari, he doesn't have those brahmachari qualifications. But they say it so sweetly. Yeah, Krishna, we know you are a brahmachari and you have all the qualifications of a brahmachari. So that is called kataksh or sarcasm. So in sarcasm, she says, how dare you come into my home like this? And then this box is empty. My husband said that it's full of treasure. And she's looking at the Sakhis and Vinod Manjari and saying, indeed, that treasure has been stolen by this cunning thief. Maybe what we should do is call our mother-in-law, Jatila, Kutila, and even my husband Abhinyu, and have him arrested by the soldiers of Kansa and file a complaint in Mathura that he has taken all the valuable things and he has come secretly inside. So this is Radharani. Internally she is so happy. But here she is saying, so then Krishna says, our Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, then Krishna says, look at this lady. They're looking at Lalita and Vishaka and the other Manjaris. She has deliberately sent her husband to my home in Nanda Bhavan, and deliberately, he brought me here with that secret that I am inside the box. So Radharani said, how? I can understand that you took out all the jewelry and all the silken clothes, but why did you enter the box? She said, you know what? The fragrance and everything in that box was so nice. I just wanted to smell it. Uh, that is the reason why I went in. He's such a cheater, liar, Krishna. So, and then your husband came and he shut the box and he took it away. So now you all decide, you all be the judge. Lalita, Vishaka, who is at fault? If I am at fault, I am ready to get punished. And if she is at fault, then her punishment is that I will stay here 3 days in her room. So, like that, these are the sweet pastimes. One more pastime from Chamatkar Chandrika very quickly. One time, we all know that Radharani was given this benediction by Durvasa Muni that whatever you cook, it will remove all obstacles for the person who takes your cooked foodstuffs. That is the reason why Yashodama always wanted Radharani to cook for Krishna, that all obstacles be removed. So many demons are coming in Raj. Also, he will grow nice and healthy. So you come 3 times a day. So that is why during even Rajbhog Aarti, we mentioned that yesterday, in that Radharani is present in that Bhaja Bhakata Vatsala Shri Gaura Hari. She has also cooked. So she comes to from Yavat 3 times a day to cook meals, breakfast, lunch, and even the evening bhoga she prepares for Krishna. So at that time, when Durvasa Muni gave that benediction, Mother Yashoda very innocently said, "You please come and cook for my son. He's, so that he will grow strong and healthy, and all obstacles in his life will be removed." That is Vraj Bhav. She doesn't know he's the supreme personality of God. You see the point? That is Gaudiya Bhav. When she hears that Putna was killed by Krishna only 6 days, and when she's singing the glories while doing the manthan of the sweet yogurt making makhan, she's singing all those glories, all the different pastimes. And at that time she is adding, "Oh, by the mercy of Nanda Maharaj's Parmeshwar, you were saved by Tridavrata. Oh, by the mercy of Lord Vishnu, you are saved from the clutches of Putna." So that is what they pray. And that is one of the reasons, as a side note, what is our real bhav as Raganuga Bhaktas for worshipping Narsingadev? So as Vaidhi Bhaktas, we worship Narsingadev for our protection, that we may not go astray from our bhakti. Whatever we have, Lord Narsingadev will protect. But when we enter Raganuga Bhakti Vraj Bhav, in the Bhav stage, Asakti Bhav, and even in Prema, especially the Madhurya Prema, and even in Vatsalya Prema, Mother Yashoda and the gopis, they pray to Lord Narsingadev for the protection of Krishna. So even in Govardhan today, there is a very Prachin Narsingadev temple right before Apsara Kund and Naval Kund on top of a hill that was established by Vrajrana, the great grandson of Krishna. Very over 5,000 years old deity. So the Vrajvasis used to go to that Narsingadev and pray for the protection of Krishna. That is the bhav. So when we stand in front of Narsingadev, we not only pray for our own protection and Vaidhi bhav, but we also pray that please, he's so nutcut, he'll go here and there, some demon will catch him. We pray like that, please protect him, my dear Narsingadev. Keshavadrita Narhari Rupa. They don't know that it is Sri Keshav who is the source of everything. He himself is the source of Narsingadev, and they are praying to Narsingadev for his own protection. That is Vrajbhav. That is Gaudiya. So we should try to keep that in our back of our heads. That one day we will be also genuinely praying like the Vrajvasis for the protection of Krishna. That is why this Narsingadev is important for worship in our Gaudiya Sampradaya. So, um, Kutila, mother-in-law said, enough is enough. We are not certainly sending Radharani to Nandgaon anymore for cooking. You go tell Kutila, oh my good daughter, go and tell Yashodama, give her that, give her my message. From now on, no more. Radharani won't come. She will argue with you. Look, Durvasa Muni has given her blessings and all obstacles will be removed. So all I'm doing is, in Vatsalya Prema, I am asking that please, let her cook. And that's all, that's the intention for her coming and cooking. She will tell you that. But this is the answer you will need to give her. What is the answer you will need to give? That tomorrow some big saint like Durvasa Muni will come and says, if Radharani touches anybody, all obstacles will be removed. So will Yashodama allow Radharani to touch Krishna or any other? As a matter of fact, there are so many male members in Raj. She is such a chaste woman. She only belongs to my Abhimanyu. Will we allow her to touch any other male? She will argue like that. And then she will not stop arguing with you. Then at that time, you tell her, if she doesn't agree, then you tell her that we will leave Raj and go away somewhere else. Because we are their subjects in one sense. King of Raj is Nanda Maharaj. So we will leave Vrindavan of Raj and we will go away if she still argues. And then you tell her to pacify her that you send Dhanishta and she will cook here in our home in Yavat. And she will 3 times send some prasad or bhoga for Krishna. So her desire will also be fulfilled that Krishna is eating foodstuffs that are made of Srimati Radharani's hand due to the benediction by Durvasa. So now Radharani is stopped from going towards Nandagaon. She is actually in so much separation, as we mentioned in the very first verse. For those Acharyas who are in the Manjari Bhav, they feel exactly what Radharani feels. So Davana for them is that intense separation that Srimati Radharani feels. That is the Davana. So that time Radharani feels so intense separation that her body is burning in fever. And the Sakhis, Lalita, Vishakha, the Manjaris, they want to mitigate their chamar, shikipuch. They are, basically fanning her. They made a very nice cooling bed of lilies and roses that are very cooling in nature for her to lie down because she is in so much fever of separation. But as soon as she lied down, all the petals dried up due to the heat. Just like if we put some garland or flowers in the scorching sun, within 1 hour they will completely dry up. They will shrivel, right? So similarly, all the flowers shriveled on the bed. Then Dhanishta came and says, I'm here to pick up some foodstuffs for Krishna. So then she was such in a bad state that she could not even. So then Vishaka and Lalita said, Dhanishta is here to take bhoga for Krishna. Make something. And then Radharani, who was in such fever and such state, she immediately hearing that seva, she jumped up and she went into the kitchen and sat on a jeweled little seat and lit up the fire and started cooking Krishna's favorite items. And that heat from the fire was very cooling to her. Then the heat that was generated from her own body out of out of fever of separation. So she made so many different items and sent it with Dhanishta. Then Dhanishta did one thing. She, in her ears and in the ears of the Pranasakis and Dharmasakis, whispered something. And then she left with the bhoga to Nandgaon. Now, after that, after she left, Vishaka started screaming and rolling on the ground with tears in her eyes and wailing, crying out loudly. And then, at that time, Kutila and Jatila came and said, what's wrong with you? What happened? What happened? Hey, Putri, oh daughter, what happened to you? So Jatila is like that, said, oh, what can I say? Oh, Jatila Devi, your daughter-in-law is afflicted because there was a poisonous snake in the back garden when he was there, it bit her. Oh, how did that happen? And she said, well, while she was in the garden, it was evening, it was already evening time, it is dark, and there was the Nag Mani. She thought it was one of her jewels that had fallen down. So she tried to pick up that Nag Mani, and this black venomous snake bit her on her wrist area. So many details. And these are all in Sanskrit slokas. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has described these wonderful Madhurya pastimes. So she started crying. Jatila started crying. And she said, what should we do? What should we do? So she told Abhimanyu, go run. Bring that doctor, witch doctor in Vrindavan who can recite mantras that will take away the poison. Through mantras that will eradicate all the poison. So then immediately, actually she goes inside the room of Srimati Radha and she is covered with a cloth. And at that time, she said, can you remove the cloth? And she felt, oh, she is in so much fever. And she said, Putri, how do you feel? Oh, daughter, how do you feel? Mother, I don't know. There's so much fever, I'm shivering. I don't know, mother, I don't know what. And then she said, go, Abhimanyu, go right now and bring that tantric who will recite the mantras. So then Radharani says in a very feeble voice, no, not possible. No male can touch me. I'm a very chaste wife. No male can touch me. I'm not going to permit that. So then Jatila is saying that in an emergency situation, one can, for medicine purposes, take anything, even though it is forbidden in normal use. Like that, she is trying to give her Shastric Gyan. So she said, no, this time I'm not going to listen to you. No male is going to touch me. So then one neighbor comes, and that neighbor is also part of that gang. Is one of the duties. Says that, Maya, the daughter of Gargamuni, Gargamuni must have taught this anti-poison vidya through mantras to his daughter. So go to Gargi, go to her. So immediately they go, Jatila and Kutila, to Gargamuni's house and they meet Gargi. So says the Gargi, you must have learned this poison removing mantras from your father. Your father is very learned. In the meantime, before they leave, Vishaka Sati says, you go there, go, mother, go. I will tie some tight cloth around her wrist so that the poison doesn't go further into her heart. And that is only going to last for an hour and a half, no more than that. She tells, so go quickly. So, and then as soon as he left, they're all giggling and laughing. Now, so this is Sri Radhika Madhavya Apara Madhurya Leela. Now, she goes there and she falls at the feet of Gargi. Gargi says, I did not learn this Sapera Vidya, removing the poison, but my sister, Vidyavani, who lives now in Kashi, has come. She just come to Mathura to visit our father, and she just came yesterday to meet me here. And she's still in the house, but she knows the Sapera Vidya to remove the poison from anybody who has been afflicted by a poisonous snake. So please, and when they go to Vidyavali, they fall at their feet. I and my son and my daughter will be purchased by your mercy if you can come and save my daughter-in-law. So please come. So Vidyavali, who actually is Krishna, because Dhanishta knows this, and Krishna, before leaving Nanda Bhavan, told Dhanishta, dress me exactly like the daughter Vidyavali of Gargamuni. And he's dressed in a nice sari with a veil, and he's showing some arrogance. Oh, I am not that ordinary person like a coward girl. I am married to a Brahmana in Kashi. And it is for the reputation. We don't go to house like the milkmaids of Vrindavan. We are very reputed persons. My husband is also very reputed. My father-in-law is also very reputed in Kashi. So don't expect this from me. So then this Krishna, who is in the form of Vidyavali, makes Jatila beg. Oh, please, you can purchase me completely. I take the dust of your feet. Oh, Vidyavali, please come. So here, see how Krishna is such a cheater, and his wonderful pastimes, Madhurya Leela, that he makes Radharani's sass mother-in-law beg and take his dust. Then he is arguing with his sister, Gargi, how can we go? Because the way is far and the jungle is there, and there is this woman kidnapper who is always roaming around in Raj, and he will, I am a chaste woman. I cannot go like that because I'm scared. So she's talking about Krishna, and Krishna is speaking about himself. And calling him a woman kidnapper or harasser of women in Raj. That is Madhurya Leela. When we read such commentaries, our heart should jump in joy. Uh, Then, then Gargi says to Vidyavali, her younger sister, no, no, don't worry. I know all the shortcuts. And everywhere when Rajendra Nandan doesn't come. So you come with me. We will both go to Yavat, where Radharani is right now, lying in pain. So then she says, okay, I will come. But before that, she says, you have forgotten that you are also from Vraj. The Vrajvasis are very simple. They have so much compassion. Just because you got married to a Brahmin, you have become arrogant. How can you forget that the Vrajvasis are compassionate? How can you forget that our father is Gargamuni? He is a Vrajvasi. So why you are being so proud? You should help. She is in need. She is dying. So then she agrees. And then she's saying, but no, 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 but I am scared to go because this woman kidnapper will come and he will harass me also because he is harassing all the Vrajvadus. So, like that, don't worry, we will go together. And then, so they all go and reach Yavat into the house of Abhimanyu, Jadila Kutila. And there, this Vidyavali or Krishna in the form of Vidyavali goes and says, what happened? Let me see. So then he says that if the poison is very intense, that I have to use some special means. So what I do is, I know the mantras very well, but I also, what I do is I will eat tambul, pan bida. I mentioned that the other day, if you were mentioned in the Gokul, in the afternoon session. And what I do is I will chew the betel nut, pan, and it will be mixed with my sound vibration of the throat in the mantras. And then if the poison is very intense, then I will have to administer that medicine of my pan bida, that uchista, my half-eaten pan bida, and give it to Radharani and put it in her mouth. So do you agree? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Why not? Why not? So she takes her inside Vidyavali / Krishna, and she simply tells Radharani, Radharani, you wanted a female doctor who is expert in removing poison. I brought Gargarishi's daughter Vidyavali with me. And you do have to do exactly as she says. She will be eating some tambul and it will be mixing with in her throat the mantras that and she will put it in your mouth. So don't object to that. So that Radharani internally, she's saying, oh, Krishna, what a cheater you are. Just see, right in front of my mother-in-law, how dare, what kind of daring you have, that you're scheming like this. So that is Sri Radhika Madhurya, Madhurya Leela. And that is the mother. Then he says, not only that, he has that, just see where Krishna's pastimes are taking, how deep they are in love of Srimati Radharani. He says, uh, Jadila Ma, first of all, remove that chadar that is there on her, the bed sheet that is there. And I want to, with my tantric vidya, I will be touching different parts of her body, starting from her toes. And I will automatically know where the poison is most concentrated. When I touch those areas, just like a doctor takes a stethoscope and he probes, where is the underlying problem, right? So similarly, I will touch Radharani everywhere. And as soon as he comes to her upper part, then he says the main poison is concentrated here, right in front of her mother-in-law. He is intimately touching Srimati Radharani. and and like that. So this is, heavy rasa. Not everybody can understand. That is why we have to go through systematically. And ultimately, this is what our goal is. Our prayojan is only that to witness those sweet pastimes. So then he's there, and then he says, okay, now this is very intense. I've stopped here, my hands on her chest. And most of the poison has now reached this far and it is very intense and it is going to reach her heart very soon. So now I have to do one very special thing. I have to call that snake that bit her. There is no snake, but Vidyavali, as Krishna is telling, Jatila and Kutila and Abhimanyu who are present in that room, I have to call that snake, but everybody you go out. Everybody leave the room. So all the Sakhis and all they leave the room. Kutila, Jatila also go. And behind closed doors, Krishna speaks like a poisonous snake in two sounds. One as Vidyavali and one as the poisonous snake. So the poisonous snake, Krishna tells the poisonous snake, "Oh, my dear poisonous snake, you have come here all the way from where?" So he's saying, "I've come from Kailash, from my master Shivji. I've come all the way from there." So Radharani is being afflicted by this pain of poison. "Why did you bite her?" So the snake, in a snake's voice, he's saying, and pointing towards the window, the sound, because everybody is eagerly listening to what the conversation between the Vidyavali / Krishna and the snake. No snake, but the voice of the snake, right? So he's saying, "Yeah, I bit her because I wanted to give pain to Abhimanyu. And when Abhimanyu is in a lot of pain, the mother will be in a lot of pain." So then he said that Mother Kutila, "Oh, why didn't you bite Abhimanyu directly? So why bite Radharani? She didn't do anything." So that's true. But I have to still inflict pain on Abhimanyu and Jatila. And Radharani has this benediction from Durvasa Muni that Akhanda Saubhagyavati. So she will not die, I know. But if I bite Abhimanyu without biting her and without inflicting pain, then if Abhimanyu dies, then the benediction of Durvasa Muni will fail. Because if the husband dies before the wife, then she is not Akhanda Saubhagyavati. Right? Akhanda Saubhagyavati to English listeners means, may you remain always a chaste wife. That means the husband is still there. First, the husband is there, then the wife, and wife will go first. She is Akhanda Saubhagyavati, and then the husband leaves. That is the benediction. So to most married women, the Varishta Vaishnavas or the Brahmanas give that benediction, Akhanda Saubhagyavati. May you eternally remain a bride. So that is the reason. So then why didn't you? I said, next I will be biting Abhimanyu, don't worry. That's the next plan. And then she will be in the most pain, Kutila. But why are you giving her pain? What did she do? So she insulted very badly Durvasa Muni, who is an incarnation of my master Lord Shiva. And also, she has stopped Radharani from going to Nanda Bhavan every day and cooking. So that is the reason why, to punish Jatila. Radharani, I tell you, she is a very chaste woman. She doesn't do anything wrong. So she should not stop her from going to Nanda Bhavan for cooking. And she has locked her up in the room. And that is the reason why I'm going to punish Jatila by not killing her, but at the same time inflicting more pain when the next day I will be biting Abhimanyu. Jatila heard that, Kutila heard that. Oh, they started crying. "Oh, Snake Devta, please don't do that. Don't do that, don't do that." So why should I not do that? Do you promise that you will treat Durvasa Muni nicely with respect, and do you promise that you will allow Radharani to go to Nanda Bhavan? Yes, we will do it. Please, don't. So you make a promise, right? So then he said, yes, okay, then I will go away. And Krishna is constantly speaking like Vidyavali and the snake, and then behind closed doors. And then finally, Krishna, okay, the snake is satisfied now. He has gone back to Kailash. So now you all can come in. And then Kutila and Jatila, they all bow down again to Vidyavali or Krishna, and even makes her husband, Abhimanyu, bow down to and take the dust of Vidyavali. "Oh, you saved my Bahu. You saved my Bahu. Thank you so much. Thank you so much." So right in front of, this is our Krishna. And what is Natkat Trivanga Lalita Shyamam Trivanga, bent in three forms, but bent crooked in every way. And that is the Madhurya Rasa. that only the Manjaris and Gopis of Vrindavan can witness. None of the other Vaishnavas in Vaikuntha or any of the sadhus anywhere can even come close to witnessing all this Madhurya Rasa. Like that, there are so many wonderful pastimes that our Manjaris who have witnessed it have written wonderful books with these. Sri Radhika Madhavya Rapara, Madhurya Leela Gunar. And one last thing he mentions in this pastime, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that Radharani is so soft-hearted. She always sees the good in everyone. She said, my daughter-in-law's name is Kutila, means she is wicked. And Jatila also, but she is so nice. She was so instrumental in bringing my pran, my dear Krishna, to me. So I bow down to her. Due to this, them two being instrumental in bringing Krishna right into my inner chambers, into my house. So these are the pastimes. Now let's think about this. Don't you think we all want to be a part of these special pastimes if we really think those sweet pastimes? That should be our goal. It's good, Bhagavad Gita is good. We can witness so many different pastimes of Krishna in different rasas. But don't you think this is the best rasa? Where Radharani depends on so many of her Manjaris and Gopis to assist her. Krishna depends on Dhanishta and all the Manjaris, Vishakha, Lalita, and the Sakhis, to enact these wonderful cheating pastimes to increase the love that is there. That pastime that is done openly sometimes is not as sweet than when it is done right under the nose of those people in the same house. When a paramour comes jumping into a window, when the entire other family members are in the other room and meets her lover, his lover, now that daring itself is very exciting. That's very few people can understand that excitement of the heart throbbing, the love that is there is of the highest crescendo. That normally, even while they are in the forest of Vrindavan, that intensity is not there, especially when that intensity of love happens right in front of Jatila, Kutila, Abhimanyu. So don't we think we should be a part of such pastimes? But we have to qualify for that. We have to qualify for that. And that qualification is good Vaidhi Bhakti, and then getting that greed of Raganuga Bhakti and taking guidance of such Vaishnavas and their writings, and progressing till we reach that asakti, bhav, and then finally prem in Madhurya Rasa. So I think it is time right now. I've gone really over, but I thought I would just explain one component of Madhurya Rasa, like there is apar. Sri Radhika Madhurya Leela, apar. Apar means unlimited such pastimes. They constantly happen to Raj under the direction of Yogmaya, Purnamasi. And as a matter of fact, I forgot, Purnamasi is the one who directs Kutila Jatila to go to Gargamuni's house, to Gargi's house, Gargamuni's daughter, and then eventually Vidyavali, who is Krishna disguised as Vidyavali. So like this, in Chamatkar Chandrika, as the name says, Chamatkar, amazing, amazement. So every time Krishna does this pastime, he amazes the Sakhis, the Manjaris, and Radharani, shocks them. Chamatkar Chandrika. So these are the different. There are actually 4 stories in there in Chamatkar Chandrika. It's about 100 pages. When you get your hands, please read them. They are available. I think Bhanuswami has also translated. Krishna, 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 Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Not only that, Shravan Dasha, hearing the sound vibration, but when we are mature enough, we will have Smaran Dasha of all these different pastimes. That's what our Acharyas do constantly. That's what they do. They are into Smaran Dasha in the internal mood. And that is why Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is offering his obeisances. Vande Guroho Sri Charana Ravindam, unto all those great personalities who are those acharyas. In the external mode, they are teaching and speaking on Sri Radhika Madhavya Rapara, Madhurya Leela, and in the internal mode, they are into Smaran Dasha. And simply sometimes they laugh when they are chanting. What a naughty Krishna. The way he jumped out of the box and shocked Radharani. How he tricked Abhimanyu, how he tricked Jatila and Kutila, how he tricked as a serpent remover, poison remover. So then they simply, they are in their Manjari Bhav, they are chanting, they are present there and they are simply laughing and giggling. So this is our Madhurya Krishna. Adaram Maduram, Vadanam Maduram, Nayanam Maduram, Hasitam Maduram, Hridayam Maduram. What is that after that? Hridayam Maduram, Brahmitam Maduram, Maduradipate Rakhilam Maduram. Everything that he does, Haranam Maduram, even when he kidnaps, it is Madhur. Haranam Maduram. Sri Vallabhacharya has very perfectly described Sri Radhika Madhavya, Madhurya Leela, very perfectly described. Because he is also an incarnation of Srimati Radharani. He is Swamini Bhav. Although he is also an incarnation of Agni. So he knows. He is in Madhurya Rasa. He has learned it from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Vallabhacharya. So I see you are all glued. Don't you all want prasadam? I can continue and complete this verse, but it will take some time because I want to describe Guna, Rupa, Nam, especially the Nam component. We will do it this afternoon and this morning at 11. So in 1 hour and 10 minutes. So please run for your prasadam. Everybody is hungry due to Dwadashi. So I beg that, because of whatever little I'm speaking and if it attracted your hearts, but it has kept you hungry, it will pain me if you don't take prasadam. So please run and see you all as much as you all can come. If you have seva, see you at 11 in Gokul, and we will continue this verse. That will be part number 8, session 8, the Guruvashtakam. Thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Pad ki jai. Entire Gaudiya Guru Varg ki jai. Gaur Premanand. Hari Bol. Jai Gurudev, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Ananta Koti Vaishnava. Hare Krishna. Madhuram se